Do you remember the cop Charles Gliniewicz, the guy from Lake County, right outside Chicago, the cop who was found shot to death? Let me just give you a quick synopsis. On the morning of September 1st, 2015, Lieutenant Charles Joseph Gliniewicz of the Fox Lake, Illinois Police Department was found dead in woods bordering US 12 and Fox Lake, originally thought to have been killed with his own .40 caliber service weapon by 3 unknown assailants. 2 months of intense investigation led by the Lake County Major Crime Task Force and the Lake County Coroner's Office concluded that Gliniewicz had actually committed suicide. Investigators believe that Gliniewicz killed himself after learning that his long-term criminal activity faced imminent exposure from an audit of department finances that had been under his direct control. Now, before that came out, do you remember what the right-wing sons of bitches, the sewer mouths on talk radio talked about? It was somehow because of the political correctness of allowing movements like Black Lives Matter, that the Black Lives Matter movement was totally and strictly responsible. And what did they call it? Didn't they call it open season on cops? Remember that? Well, there is an update to that story that I'll share with you when we come back. The commander of the Lake County Major Crime Task Force told reporters when this happened, we completely believed from day one that this was a homicide. But every right-winger in the country on media took it up as a race killing. Remember? I just thought you might like to know the follow-up to this story, that both Gliniewicz and his wife, now widow, they were both involved in embezzlement, stealing for years. The guy was a thug. He tried to hire someone to kill the city manager in Fox Lake, Illinois, that was conducting a complete audit of all the police department's finances. And this filthy piece of human waste, which is exactly what he was, somebody that came out of, what, Iraq War I or something? I have no idea. But he was a goddamn monster. Now, the reason I bring it up, the secondary reason, is to ask you if anybody has heard any kind of a retraction. And Fox News went after this just like hungry rats going after a corpse. They really did when this happened. Oh, Jesus H. Christ, especially Steve Juicy and that whole crew of half-wits that sit on the couch at Fox every morning. Oh, they just had a field day. And Limbaugh, I thought it was the best thing that happened to Limbaugh since he used to do drugs. Have any of them offered any kind of an apology or an explanation? Not for getting it wrong. These sons of bitches get everything wrong. But for pumping up the racism. This is what these people do. They pump up the racism in this country to the point where it's ready to goddamn explode. But I've been telling you for 10 years, that's exactly what these right-wingers want. That's what this little pissant Sean Hannity and Limbaugh and the whole Fox organization, they want it. They lust after it. They want to see people shooting each other in the streets. They loved it when Ferguson happened. They want more. They want death. They want bombings. They want people cutting each other's throats. And they have the absolute gall to stage this circle jerk tonight with these half-witted morons that are talking about what they're going to do when they become president. They're going to bomb this and bomb that and kill this, and troops on the ground and boots on the ground and blood on the ground. And that little punk-ass Rubio, when has he ever served his country for anything? And he was the most bloodthirsty that I saw tonight. Kept referring to Guantanamo. using that as the metaphor for, oh, waterboarding? Oh, you got to be goddamn kidding. We're going to get them down there and really get the truth out of them. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. You can begin in the morning with Bill Press and then end your day screaming with me, Mike Malloy, weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.